Hey guys, welcome back to another Foundry review. We got episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett on the dock tonight. What's going? We got Johnny, we got Sly, we got Tony, we got the whole gang. How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's happening?
Great. Hey-o.
Yeah, we got everyone. We're excited for this.
Difficult to not call it the Mandalorian on accident.
Yeah, episode 2
was
of the
tempted.
3rd season, boys.
I know, bro. I can't wait for
season 3
Boba Fett to be continued in the Mandalorian
prequel
season
episode
3,
2.
episode 1.
It was pretty nice to see Boba Fett featured in the new Mando season once again.
He had a good cameo.
Honestly, I hope that Boba Fett does not take up too much screen time because I'm starting to lose focus on the Mando. And I just really like to focus on him, on his story arc, so it continues it. Because we are running out of episodes this season, and I do
I'm
not...
tired of
episode
seeing
all over
Mando's
the
face
place.
all the time. Why is Mando not wearing his helmet at all
Even
this season?
even for a Mandalorian episode, this episode is all over the place in terms of like
It's
people
very
and references and
Holy
things.
shit, what is the show about? Who is the show about?
Yeah, it gets a little bit
Star
lost.
Wars.
What does Luke Skywalker and Grogu have to do with the Pikes and Tatooine right now? Anyone?
We don't know yet, I guess. We don't know yet. What if Grogu just shows up and he's like, I chose both, and
When
just has a chainmail
when does
and a
this shit
lightsaber?
start like connecting though?
I really don't know.
And we have one more episode.
I don't think it's about it connecting. I think they're trying to be like, this is one shared universe where we want to show you everything everyone's going through. Like, and in that case, like we talked about, why don't we just call it like the Outer Rim Chronicles, or just give it a different name?
Yeah.
Why are they naming it Book of Boba Fett? And Boba Fett was named once in the last episode. In this episode, he is said like 3 times maybe, and he's on screen for 15 seconds. Doesn't say a goddamn thing. Once again, he doesn't have his helmet on. So you're like, oh look, there's Tamara Morrison. I mean, Boba Fett, or Captain Rex or Django.
I feel like
We don't know.
I think it's kind of a shitty thing to focus on. It's kind of
Baby Fett.
we got bigger issues than that.
What did we watch earlier? They said everyone's complaining about Boba Fett not being like he was in the original trilogy, so here he is in this episode, 15 seconds of screen time and not saying anything, just standing there menacingly in the corner, just like the original trilogy. And I'm like, oh my god, they did it.
Yeah,
But
a
I
big
guess
goof.
I guess we'll get there. We have a lot to cover. There's a lot that happens.
We're saying we'll get there for like
There's
6
so much.
fucking episodes though. Like,
I meant we'll get there.
oh, I mean like
specifically
okay,
the
okay,
moment
okay,
he
okay.
was talking about.
Okay.
So
Well-
what's the name of this one? The Stranger That Comes from the Desert.
Yes, which I think probably references a couple things, but one very
Yeah, one of those
obvious
aliens
at
from
the end.
Bloodborne showed up and fucking
I initially
shot
thought-
someone.
Since it started with Cobb Vanth, that they were talking about Cobb Vanth. And I was like, okay. Initially.
Kind of. But I mean, that's where that's perfect. That's where the episode starts off, right? We
Obviously,
get a-
Cobb Vanth's deputy. That's what we're talking about.
he is.
He was the real fucking star of this fucking episode,
Bantha
man.
fodder,
I
that's what he
love Timothy Oliphant.
Timothy's amazing. He's so good.
I want
was.
more
Deputy,
Cobb
not so
Vanth.
much.
Yeah, he looked
I do
really.
love
He
Cobb
looked.
Vanth.
Deputy.
He looks so old in this episode. Like in this
That's
episode.
just him, bro. He's rocking the gray hair. He's
Yeah,
sexy.
for
I
real.
know. He looks
Shit.
good.
I like
though. He
it.
looks
It's-
good.
Some
Like,
Gerald.
He's sexy. He's a sexy old man.
Yeah, he's definitely. She looked older. It was kind of crazy
Now
to
that's
see
a
him.
peepaw.
Oh, we're not. We're moving. I'm pressing eject on this conversation right
Just
fucking
kidding.
now.
Call.
Oh my
So we
fucking god.
start the episode
Yeah,
with
he
Cobb
comes across
Vanth.
some pikes. Yeah.
They're doing some dealings.
Ah,
for
criminal
spice
things.
and money. They're,
Yeah, they got
totally
a bunch of
legit.
shit on their fucking speeder, the land speeder, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm the marshal."
Yeah, you're doing your dealings in my territory from here to over here, and I bet
This is Mos Espa territory,
You best be leaving.
or Freetown.
Spelgo.
Mos
Yeah,
Pelgo, thank you.
Yeah, he doesn't call it the new name in this, does he?
Yeah, well,
I
we
thought
gotta
he said
take
it was
this bit
Mos
by bit.
Pelgo
Let's take this bit
territories,
by
though.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, he draws on them and shoots some pikes, and there's one who gives up, and
Yeah.
they're like, he's like, you get the fuck out of here, but you leave your spice here, and he's like, no, please, this is expensive stuff.
It's
He's like,
worth
"Get
more than your
out."
town.
Yeah, and
I like
then,
how he
like-
warns him twice. Like, think it through. Don't do this.
Yeah, dude,
for
that
real.
was his line. Is like, think about
Opening line and then the second line to the last one. He's like, come on, man, just I don't want to shoot you.
I was thinking
Yeah.
about that for a minute. I was like,
but I
has there
won't
ever
shoot
been
your
like
ass.
a bad character who actually gave up and didn't try anything stupid? I was thinking about that when that happened, and then
It's a very
Yeah.
Batman-esque kind of thing, you know. Just
hey,
being
it's the
just-
Batman! You beat the shit out of him.
Oh shit! It's Cobb Vanth.
Get
In
him!
Star Wars, yeah, you're right. There's no one that really
Get
like, backs
him.
down.
Get the Jedi Scott. He's not a Jedi, man. Jesus.
But yeah,
Ranger!
you said he shoots 3 of them. One guy's left, and then he leaves with the money. And leaves
Bro,
the spice there.
Bro,
But then
imagine.
he just kicks it over.
Bro,
No, so
imagine
the
we're
spice-
just chilling out. So we get lost. We're driving around. We get lost. We get out of our car. We're looking at a map. Some dude shows up and then shoots 3 of us. That whoever's the last one alive here, seriously, in this review,
He was
they're just gonna walk home.
Give me your guy's iPad. Why would you want? Why do you
We're
want?
just
an
gonna-
iPad? I said, give it to
We're
me.
just gonna drive home. Like, if I was the last one standing, I'd be like, no, fuck that, dude. Like, I'm gonna try to kill you. Kill 3 of my friends. Like, fuck you. The dude, like, fuck. I thought that was pretty funny. He just fucking killed the whole group, except for one person. Think about the
No,
survivor's
do you
guilt
think you're
there.
gonna be able to kill Timothy Oliphant? Be honest.
I've got a little funny.
I'd be
gripe about this.
It'd be sad if I didn't try.
There's
Well-
4 pikes, and they're
Uh-huh.
dealing out in the desert. Now,
Uh-huh.
why would they be dealing if they were all together in that one speeder?
It was a
Yeah,
two-person.
I mean-
It was a two-person speeder, wasn't it?
It's a 2-person speeder, yes. And they're in buttfuck nowhere. So where the hell did
They were
those other
riding on
2
each other's
come
laps, bro. Pikes are
Oh my god!
Like a
well, then why would
bantha.
they have to deal there
Like
a
a
bantha.
bantha.
dude. How did they have to deal? Like
That's
literally, that was my
interesting.
gripe.
That's
I was
a
like,
good
bro,
point.
like that was a lazy thing that like they probably overlooked.
Damn it! Why'd you have to point that out?
You're never gonna be able to
Son of a
look at it. the
Yeah,
same.
you're
about to
right
be like,
though. Well,
they're
well, how
spooning
did
them, yeah.
C-3PO and R2-D2 fit in Luke's land speeder? They
Shit.
just kind of sat on the back. They probably just like sit on the back. It's like I
Yeah,
don't
but like,
fucking
why would they
know.
have to deal together? Is my thing.
Because you know you pick up someone.
Can we
for
move
drugs
on?
or
We're on the
driving
first
somewhere
fucking
safe, do a
scene.
drug
Let's
deal,
go.
you know?
Let's move
Anyway.
on, guys. We're on the first fucking scene still. We can't
Fair
make
enough,
this shit
fair
40 minutes long. Moving on.
So the guy leaves, and then the title
Oh,
card
Lord.
shows, and then it gives us Mando.
Well, he kicks the spice down, which I think
Mm-hmm.
is probably a reference to Dune. But anyways,
What the fuck does that have anything to do with Dune?
do you know what Dune is? Spice, and anyways.
Was
next
there worms in this?
It wasn't a robot reference, so he didn't give a shit about it.
Androids.
It wasn't a shitty short circuit reference, so he didn't care for it.
Like, you're the one that just made the short circuit reference. Fuck you.
And
He
you're
made a
the
reference
you're
to
the
a
only
short
one who
circuit
gave a
reference.
fuck about it too.
Oh, you wait. I'm about to. There's gonna be more short circuit. Just to continue.
Jeez. We cut to the Mandalorian finally going to the planet to visit Grogu.
Yeah, he's got his
We see
armor and stuff.
R2-D2.
Yeah.
It's a great reference. We see some old friends. He lands in his
Is it
Naboo
a reference?
starfighter.
Yeah.
You just see a character.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's not a reference.
It's a
literally
reference to
just a-
Star Wars.
Shut up! Why? Damn you!
But then yeah, Star Wars is referencing Star Wars.
And then we had a
Throwback.
reference. We had a reference to Earth because we saw some trees, which is
R2-D2
famously used in Earth.
And
Yeah,
then
if
there
you'll
were some
notice,
robot
there's some
references
bamboo.
and some ant references.
That they're filming
yeah.
out there. Wait, it's all Earth.
To
Always
grounded.
has
There's
been.
some rock references as well.
But
Some-
yeah, so he sees R2 and he takes him to to go meet Luke or whatever. But he kind of just like makes like a bunch of robots that are building the temple.
They make the bench.
They just make him a bench, and he's like,
I love
"All right,
that.
I guess I'll
He's
sit
like,
here
"I'm
and
gonna
wait."
wait
That was pretty funny.
I like
I
the
thought it
little
was fucking funny
androids.
too. Yeah, they're cool. I was like, oh, they're little ants.
I don't like that this is directly referencing The Last Jedi because this is, or just the
Yes.
sequels, because
It's
this is the
his
temple in the sequels, and I'm like, no, it's
I
like,
don't like it. Yeah.
I was hoping for an alternate like timeline type of shit, but we're here now, I guess. The sequels are confirmed in this,
God damn it.
What a shame.
unless it could still go off a different direction, but
Dave's
who
about
knows?
to be like,
whatever.
I will make it canon.
So he sits and waits, and then yeah, he does a lot of waiting.
Yeah,
Oh,
he-
and then Ahsoka shows up.
yeah,
right?
Ahsoka,
This is where
yeah.
she shows up.
She's like, hey, what are you doing, Mandalorian?
Well, before she shows up, it's the frog scene.
Oh, true. Yeah,
Yep.
we get a little.
We get a
Force.
lot of callback Easter eggs from like the original training between Luke and Yoda on Dagobah. And
Yeah,
it's
for
like the shoes on the other foot kind of thing. So now Luke is in Yoda's shoes, and Grogu is
And
Luke.
holy fuck, is the fucking deep fake 100 times better.
It
than
looked really
was
good.
In
It
It
was
was
Mandalorian.
that guy they hired,
lot
man.
better.
Big difference.
No, it's Mark Hamill.
Welcome back, everyone.
So,
this will be my full
what
Star Wars
happened-
Book of Boba Fett
swear to God,
episode
it's
6
Mark Hamill
video.
doing the
Probably
body and
the
the
best
voice.
episode
So the
far.
scene was-
So much
it was
happened. There's so many
Luke
Easter eggs to break
Skywalker
that's for the
interacting with
Mandalorian
Grogu,
season
and they
3
were just
in the
kinda
Book of
chilling
Boba
together.
Fett
That's
finale
actually
next
what's
week
going
too.
on,
and
and
meditating.
seeing
That
frogs,
That was the
yeah.
episode where they showed you how Boba Fett got the dent
Yeah,
in his
Grogu
helmet
pulls
in
the
a
frog,
gunslinger
and then
standoff
it's like,
moment where Cad
Grogu,
Bane
don't eat
shot
that
him.
frog,
Cad Bane
but check
character.
this
He also
out, I'm
created the
gonna pull
Ahsoka
all the
character. He
frogs
wrote and
up,
directed the
and then
Ahsoka
Grogu's like,
episode
wow.
during
He's
The
like,
Mandalorian
just
season
like,
2.
you know,
He
let
tends
go
to
for
work
a
more
while.
heavily on the
Frog
episodes
buffet, yeah.
involving characters that he
Frog
created.
buffet.
Never really
It's
had any
like, okay.
canonical stories about his
That's a very
adventures
funny
during the events
comparison.
of the original trilogy. Yeah, where Mando
It's
found
exactly
him
what
during The
he's trying to do.
Mandalorian
He's
season
trying to
2, same
showcase,
town
like,
we go
you
back
know,
to. There's a lot of
how
references in the episode
it's
to The
like
Mandalorian
bigger.
season 2 episode 1 in all
Yeah.
the scenes with
Such a
Cobb
bigger
Vanth in this
frogs?
area.
So
When the
toads?
Pikes
No,
claim
not
that they're going
toads.
back to
Shit.
Mos Eisley, and then Cobb
Yeah,
Vanth
I'm gonna
says
eat a
pretty much
fucking
anything goes in
toad,
Mos Eisley.
Master
It's just them
Skywalker.
referencing all the
Turns
different
around,
major
he's got
cities on
Ahsoka in his
Tatooine.
mouth.
We were also just in Mos Eisley in last week's
They- they
episode.
go on
They
the
want to let you know
walk,
that the
though.
Pike Syndicate is
I love
basically
that.
taking
That was
over the
really
entire
cute scene,
planet.
bro.
They have
Yeah,
a
I
classic
really like
gunslinger
how
gunslinger
Luke,
standoff.
like,
He
force
kills all
throwing
but
him
one, then
around.
takes the
Yeah,
box
that
of
was funny.
spice. Even though he
But
makes all the
then he makes
references
you
to
remember his-
retiring, he just kicks it over
time
letting
in
it
the
blow
Jedi
awake
Temple.
fighter to
Oh,
the
it was
planet
cool.
where Luke
That was just
Skywalker is
kinda-
training
that was in
Grogu
Coruscant,
as a
correct?
Jedi to give him his little
Yeah, the
Mandalorian
Jedi.
Beskar
Yeah,
armor.
that
So most of us
was
theorize that it would be a
Jedi specifically
chainmail shirt
rescues
because of those
So,
tiny
Yeah, we
little
don't know.
ringlets. But the
Tony and
whole
I
idea
watched
of
a little
Mando
video.
talks
We had a
about
video
the
playing
armor
on that
being
was, like,
his
going
by
into our
rights,
deep
talking about
theories and stuff
Grogu
like
as a
that,
Mandalorian
and,
was also meant to be a reference to
how
Grogu, like the
clone troopers
Mandalorian
in that
wasn't just meant to
flashback
reference
specifically
Din
looks
Djarin's
like they
character,
weren't
it was also
looking
meant to
for
reference
Grogu from that
Grogu's
point of
character
view.
because
And
Grogu
that
is
I
also
like that
becoming
theory.
a Mandalorian.
That the
R2-D2
theory
greets him when he
was
lands,
that
and he also
perhaps
says the name
Grogu was
Skywalker
inside
for the first time.
R2-D2
He didn't use
hiding
Luke
inside of
Skywalker's
him?
name during the Mandalorian season 2 finale.
That
Oh,
was
and he
Also
was just
really
he was
surprised that they
able to see
physically
through.
brought Luke
Yeah,
Skywalker
through,
back.
like, a
Now
crack
remember,
or
it's a
something like that.
combination
That
of
was
them
theory
deep
that we
faking
heard.
this
In
episode.
episode
So Mark
3,
Hamill
whenever
came back
Anakin
again
returns
and
to
recorded
Padme
new
Theory
dialogue
slaughtering
for the
all the
episode.
Jedi.
And I do feel like the
Because
visual
when
effects for Luke
R2-D2
Skywalker
is,
looked
like,
better
talking to
than the deep
C-3PO,
fake that
like,
they
urgently,
did
like,
during
they
The
need to
Mandalorian
leave.
season 2. Like whatever their technology they're
That's
using
an
has gotten a little bit
interesting
better.
theory.
Yeah, that's like it's pretty goofy.
I'm gonna disprove
But
that one
also, I'm
immediately
like,
because when
that's
he
the only
returns
thing
to
that
Padme,
would make
he has
sense
R2
of
with
how
him.
he would get away.
I mean, like
how,
I don't know. He could have been just
Like, it's the
hiding
only
or something.
thing.
Anyway, yeah, it was just weird because like the clone troopers weren't like,
it looked
oh,
like
get
he
him
was
or
in his pod thing, you know? So maybe this clone trooper's just like, we don't know how to open this, just scrap it, you know? Like, he could have just closed his pod. It looked like his pod from Mandalorian. That's what I thought when I watched it. It just looked like
any
his
of you
little, like,
guys get
egg thing.
callbacks to Din Djarin being rescued in the first season as a child?
Oh,
Oh, from the
that's
droids?
Yes, that's what I'm getting the vibes of, and I feel like next week they're gonna showcase like who rescued Grogu. If not, it'll be the next season.
oh my
I
gosh.
think it's the librarian.
I kind
She's
of
gonna
don't feel
appear.
like
Jocasta
they're gonna
Nu.
do any more of that shit until Mandalorian.
Yeah, why? Who the fuck cares who actually saved him? You know?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Leave as a cliffhanger. Leave this whole thing with him as a cliffhanger, and I want to just let this finale just be fucking Boba Fett. Please.
I don't know. Just after this
Well-
like season, they're dissecting so much, and like everything needs to be seen and shown. And it's like, no, not really. Like, we gonna get a spin-off series about Luke's like him teaching and shit like that. We can get like a fucking like a fucking rock band or kind of spin-off there where he's like teaching his kids and shit. Like we don't
Yeah,
need to
that's
see
something that
everything.
makes me worried for the Obi-Wan show. Like, how are they gonna just like? Are they gonna do like multiple fucking timelines in a thing where it just is cutting between the Mandalorian and Boba Fett shit now?
No, we
like,
want
in
old
the
man
Obi-Wan
Logan.
show?
We want an old man
But, like, 'cause
Logan.
everything has to tie in.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand either. It's kind of odd.
I
I mean, it's not that it's bad. I just feel like it's so out of place.
Yeah. For sure. Then there was Ahsoka and Mando were talking. Ahsoka was just trying to say like, hey, like maybe you shouldn't because attachments aren't so good for
That's
for Jedi.
not the Jedi way.
Yeah. And she was just pretty much saying like, hey, I don't know. She's always like discouraging him.
Anakin Skywalker.
She's always discouraging him and his relationship with Grogu, which is kind of annoying.
I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause
she's
I'm
seen
like,
how
"Bitch, you don't even know
attachment
me."
can turn someone, so I would
Yeah, it's just
understand
like
why
I
she's
Anakin
so
feel like that's
hesitant.
the only thing she fucking talks about though when she's interacting with Mandalorian.
Yeah, to some
Right, she ain't
degree.
like, how's bounty hunting? You know, no small talk really.
Yeah, she's like, you still talking to that fucking Grogu? It's like, no, I'm not
She doesn't
talking.
really like foreplay her way into conversations.
Okay.
She's not like, what's your birthday?
Anyway, she was like, yeah, you won't be able to see him. Yeah.
And then but wait, she gives him a choice though. She's like, you know, if you want, go up there. But are you doing it for you? Or doing it for him? And then he's like, I will just give him this.
Do we need to go into that much detail, or can people just watch the
I mean-
fucking episode then?
I mean, but she does give him a choice. It's not more like she's like, no, you know. She is like, no, but then she's like, you know what?
I didn't
If you
say
want to,
I didn't
do
say
it.
that she didn't allow him. I said she's so discouraging.
Yeah, she is though. She's kind of like being a bitch.
Yeah. And then
Fucking Ahsoka the bitch.
she's got to be pretty old at this point. I was thinking about it because like then
18
she's
years older
old.
than Luke.
Seems like a lot of the aliens age differently than fucking the humans in these fucking in Star Wars.
how convenient for
It's
the
very
makeup
odd.
artist, huh?
I guess. Because Ahsoka's got to be what, like in her like late 40s? Because Anakin would be like what, like in his 50s? Darth Vader.
No, she'd be in her mid to late 40s. Yeah, she's not that
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, not that old.
Plus, I'm sure that
Um,
alien race or whatever ages differently with humans and shit.
Yeah, they might have a longer lifespan. Who knows? Or just age differently in general.
Yeah, she's
but-
44 or 45. Thought so. Yeah.
She aged like a banta.
But he leaves after he gives Ahsoka the thing to potentially give to Grogu.
the Beskar
he heads
armor, I'm
off.
assuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then we get more training montage with Luke and Grogu, which I mean is interesting, but I don't think it's particularly relevant to the episode.
Or
Some
necessary.
nice moments.
Yeah, not
Yeah, it
not
was like a callback to the
wasn't-
Dagobah shit.
it wasn't necessary at all. It really dragged out, and there was just kind of too much of it.
And he's
Yes.
like, I want you to jump, and then Grogu doesn't jump, and then he's like, I'll show you how to jump, and then they just run through the woods for
These are like all great
couple
things that I want to
minutes.
see, just not in the context of this show. I think.
Yeah, when we're like, we're
Yeah.
just fucking. I feel like everyone in the Book of Boba Fett, when you're watching it, like we're just waiting for something to happen. You know,
I feel like, yeah, I was
like
so
the little,
entangled
like the
with,
little
like,
kid in
Oh,
Incredibles.
this is Luke Skywalker, and it was good. And then I'm like, oh, but also I'm watching the Book of Boba Fett. When is Boba Fett gonna come in? Like,
I
Yeah.
think that's
this
the
is
problem though,
good,
with
but
them
when's Boba
introducing
Fett?
Mando's story into Boba, though. I think that was the issue.
Yeah, I agree. They
should
should
have
have just
held
been
off
like,
on
let's hire Mando, and then that's the extent of it. They
Well,
hire
we better have
Mando.
Camino flashbacks in the middle of Mandalorian season 3. I swear to God.
No, I'm tired of fucking flashbacks. God. Please, man.
So like, just like taking these scenes by themselves outside of the Book of Boba Fett like context, they are nice scenes. You get some good callbacks to like
Like the one
like
with Grogu.
I was saying with like Yoda and Luke back in the day. So it's nice, but it's just it feels a little out of place for the Book of Boba Fett.
There was some talk about Yoda actually as well. Luke did explain who Yoda was to Grogu, not that he fucking
Yeah.
understood anything. Because at times I'm like, oh, he's a toddler, and then other times he's making cooing noises. I'm like, he's a baby.
Yeah, but he's
All he does
fucking
is
50
shit-
years old
All he does is shit and sleep.
and play with balls and shit.
I mean, it's complicated with that. He can't speak, yeah, but he is
Yeah, I
able
know
to
that.
commune through the Force, like we've seen. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, like he understands shit, But I'm just like, it's the cooing noises. Is that like because I feel like they want him to be cutesy for other audiences besides Star Wars fans and whatnot. I feel like that's
Boy,
really
shit
important.
Yeah.
Toys is the audience.
Yeah.
For sure.
Which is kind of cool. Them talking about Yoda. Skywalker did look really fantastic. The puppeteering for
looked
Yoda for Grogu looked a little wonky, but I
moments,
wasn't too like harsh on it.
No,
it is what it
fine.
is.
They definitely had some
reminded me of
CGI
this
in there
fight
for the
with
jump.
Dooku, Yoda,
Yes, yeah,
the hopping around. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
very fun.
definitely very reminiscent of like Yoda fighting in Episode 2.
What else we got going on here in this episode?
We got a little bit
The
more
training
interaction with
droid from New
Ahsoka.
Hope.
Okay, one at a
Nice,
time.
Yeah. Oh. The training droid was the one from New Hope. that Luke uses. Well, it's like the same type. I don't know.
Yeah, the training montage. Yeah, we said that.
Specific
What
one,
happened after
yeah.
the training montages?
Ahsoka
returns
comes
to
up to
Tatooine.
him.
Yeah, they talked.
Oh, yeah, and then she's like, oh, yeah, I don't know if his head's in it. And then she's like, you remind me of your dad, or da 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 da. And then she's like, here, the Mandalorian wants him to have this. And he's like, oh, thank you. And Mando leaves, and Grogu sees it, and yeah. And then it cuts back to Mando.
And then what was going on with fucking Mandalorian? Him being sad or some shit?
Well, after that, the Mandalorian just goes back to Tatooine.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
I don't
and
think
then,
we just have a little bit of interaction with Ahsoka and Luke when he's trying to decide whether to give Grogu the gift or not.
Oh yeah,
And he's
she
like, "What should I do?"
referenced his father as well. And he
Yeah,
and Luke gave her the nastiest look, like the meanest like look too after she mentioned his dad, and I was like, damn. He looked mad as fuck.
I don't think it was supposed to be a mean look, but
The way like he shot a glance at her so fast too, though.
maybe, I don't know.
I took it more of like a surprise. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that makes that sounds a bit more.
part of me wants to think he's thinking to himself, like, how the hell, like, how much do you know about my dad? I wonder how
Yeah.
that conversation went down. Like, hey, I was his student, and he's probably
Yeah, I
like,
wonder how
"I'm
much
sorry?"
they talked. They had to have
Exactly.
talked about it, right?
Right.
Which is
Especially because she's like, he's safe with Master Luke. It's like, how do you know about him? All right, like,
Yeah. And then
Yeah, it's very interesting.
then Skywalker, he laid out to Grogu. He was like, "Yo, I'll give you Yoda's lightsaber, and you continue
Oh,
to be a."
that's like at the end of the episode.
yes. Yeah.
What else is happening then?
That's it. They cut. This is where like
yeah, it's
they have that
cut
conversation about
basically.
whether he should give it, and then it cuts to back to the Tatooine. So like Mando flies into the into
Garage.
Jabba's palace. He's like, I have business with Fennec Shand, and then they go do the whole briefing thing about what's going on and what the Pikes are up to. I think. What happens after that? Yeah.
They talk about like how many men they have and how they need foot soldiers, and Mando's like, I think I know someone, and then he
Yes,
immediately
right.
leaves and heads to Mos Pelgo.
Yes. Which we find out is no longer Mos Pelgo.
And is given a very shitty name.
Fallout town name.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what it reminded me of. I was like, this also doesn't fit. Freetown.
Yeah, I was like,
Damn.
okay, I see what you're doing, but now it no longer fits the theme of the Moss blank, names that Tatooine usually has.
That's a cool change. I don't appreciate it, but it's cool.
Sure. And we also see the new deputy, which is a little bit too antsy. He's
I
like,
know.
you got to get out of here. He's like,
You can't
work.
park there, mister.
Yeah, a
I
little
don't
too
think you
gung
heard
ho.
me. Yeah.
A little too gung ho and shit.
God, I
The
really
f-
wanted him to get like an elbow to the fucking chin.
Definitely
Oh
likes to
yeah,
abuse his
just an
power.
elbow, huh?
come more than that.
I appreciate all the crate dragon scenes we had.
Yeah, and
Oh
did
yeah,
you notice
the
at the
Jawas of
bar?
the crate dragon.
Jawas,
skull.
the bar, everyone's utilizing like the skeleton of the crate dragon.
Can't let
Yeah,
the
I didn't
materials go
realize
to
that
waste.
the bar was filled with the bones of the crate dragon.
Yeah.
At first, I watched like a kind of another video on this later, and they pointed it out. I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. I love it.
I love it.
But we get after he parks, he's like, can I buy you a drink? And then they go into the bar, get a drink. He's like basically asking for a
Parks.
favor to help, fight the Pikes and everything. He's like, I don't know that we want to get into this kind of a mess. The very reluctant for sure.
Yeah.
To bring the townspeople, which is understandable. But I think he realizes that it's going to be
It
the
ain't our
problem
fight,
later.
Marshal.
Especially because the Pikes have already, stepped into his territory earlier, like we saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be more willing after that to be like, you know what? I've already seen him, but I guess he did handle it, so maybe he's not
Yeah,
too worried.
And then he did say though, he's like, I'll explain at the meeting. It's probably what he was gonna say at the meeting.
think
when he
so,
said,
yeah. He was
Gather all
gonna
the
try and
fighting
tell them.
people. Yeah, he was gonna be like, now the Pikes are in our territory. We gotta fucking stand up.
Gotta
Yeah.
fight for your right.
But
And
then
then-
Augusta
To
wins.
to mineral mine or something. I don't know.
Did
to
we?
Freetown.
So whatever. Like before we go into the actual stranger. So did the scene about Luke and the Sky Yoda's lightsaber was that
No,
after?
that's at
It's
the very
last
end.
scene.
Very
Yeah,
last.
very
Okay.
last
Okay.
scene.
There, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cliffhanger at that decision.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, now as you're saying, we do get the stranger because I think Mando leaves because he says he'll see what he can do with the townsfolk to wrangle up some people, and he's leaving. He's gonna do that, but then we see a mysterious silhouette in the
I
distance.
Yeah,
squealed
and
the
then-
moment I saw the silhouette. I recognized
Yeah, I
it
knew who it
immediately.
was the second I saw it.
Yeah, me too. You know, I've never seen anything other Star Wars related. I just fucking knew, man.
When I saw it, I had an inkling, but I was like, no way they're doing that. That seems so like random, and then it happened, and I was like,
Fan
holy
service.
shit.
Yeah, it was fucking
But-
Can't kill anyone, I
crazy.
tell you.
I
But
don't think I was.
what do you guys think
I was
of
so
him-
Quiet.
What do you think of his makeup and the
It
I
looks
thought it looked good.
weird.
I liked the prosthetics.
It looks good, but
I agree.
I've seen a little bit better of an attempt at it. But I get it's a live action, so it's going to be different than the cartoon stylizations of like the Clone
For
Wars
sure,
or
for
the
sure.
Bad Batch.
It looks
I feel like
like I'm satisfied with it, but still looks very
I feel
very weird.
I feel like it's like not fair to really compare those either, though, because like Clone Wars has a specific style, as far
That's
as
what I
like
mean,
like yeah, it's like all sharp and stuff, you know, and
For
everyone's
sure.
face really elongated, and I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's good. It's not terrible. I thought
No.
it was the best alien makeup since the Wookiee,
Yeah, Chrysanthemum and him have been the best two, I'd say.
and
I
then they
think
brought
the
back
lips
the
kept
original
throwing
voice
me off
actor.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's a dub. It's a voice.
No, not even that. Just like the way that it was like
The makeup was on
you
it.
could tell that he
Yeah.
was like he had to force it around those fake teeth, and it threw me off because I kept looking at the teeth and how
Yeah,
he couldn't
the-
close his lips around the teeth quite well.
Teeth was
I was
weird too. Yeah.
I mean, it didn't throw me off too much. I like
Oh,
like
that's
everything
good.
else is super accurate and looks great. It's just like the teeth threw me off. Just the how it came together a little bit.
I
But
liked it a lot.
it was a great.
Did
like,
we
when he
say
was
it's
talking,
Cad
it was
fucking
so
Bane? Did we say it's Cad fucking Bane? I don't think we
No,
said
it's
it's
Cad
Cad.
Bane,
It's
yeah,
Cad
Cad
fucking
Bane.
Bane.
That's
from
funny.
from
We're like,
Clone
it's
Wars.
him,
Yeah.
that who not shall be
We're like
named.
everyone's watching. Who the fuck was it? Like.
Yeah, everyone's like,
Imagine
"Who
they're
is it?"
watching these reviews without even
And
touching
then
the
they're
Book
like,
of Boba
they're
Fett.
like, who's Steve?
Losers.
That's literally what the show is, though, because he keeps going, who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
That's
And
a
he
good
just keeps
point.
Dodging the question.
I
Yeah.
loved.
And They don't say his name.
Cobb Vanth was like fucking. He looked terrified. I don't know if he
I
was,
terrified.
but he looked
watching.
scared. I really liked that.
I don't
I
think he
was-
Yeah.
recognized
I
him,
was
but he was
scared.
genuinely kind of nervous the moment he like locked eyes with him. He was
Yeah,
you
I
could
don't.
tell.
Yeah, I don't know if
Look
he
at that motherfucker.
knew
He's
him, but yeah, he
scary.
was scared.
He's
Definitely a classic
terrifying,
like
though.
Western moment right there with the like the standoff and all that shit.
Oh yeah, the draw. Yeah, that was Western
Yeah,
as fuck
for
right there.
sure. Yeah, very interesting moment.
got that Mexican standoff and everything.
Yeah, he was.
But-
he was pretty much said he called out. He's like Boba Fett. He's a stone cold killer. Worked for the Empire. Don't trust him. Don't work for him. He's like,
Yeah.
I'll
Don't trust
take
Boba
this
Fett.
voice. Oh yeah, his voice was amazing. It was so good.
It's
liked
so
it.
good.
He's like,
Yeah,
don't
it was
trust.
great.
Don't trust Boba Fett. He's like, you stay here, you stay out of this, and you earn yourself a chunk of money, blah blah.
It really, like gives yourself. He says, "I'll pay you the same to do nothing."
I really
Me and
like
the Pikes.
like how he pointed up like Boba Fett and the Empire thing. I know he's not trying to say like like Boba's a bad person. I think he's just trying to convince Cobb Vanth like this isn't worth anyone's time. Like you're gonna get dragged into this for this guy. Don't bother.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Because
a-
Cad isn't exactly
great
a
standoff.
saint either. He's just like Boba.
Oh, easily.
If not
But,
worse.
He's much worse.
Yeah, I would say
Boba's
probably
kind of
worse.
redeeming himself. Cad is no.
Like a bantha.
All right, you said that 3 times. You stop that.
We get a somewhat sad ending to this standoff though, because the trigger happy deputy, goes for his gun a little too fast, and Cad pulls out his
does
gun,
get-
shoots the sheriff in the shoulder,
sale, mister.
shoots the sheriff in the shoulder, and then the deputy like 3 times, so he's definitely dead.
Yeah,
but
he
I
kills
think,
that
I'm
motherfucker.
unhappy.
I think our sheriff is still alive because
Yeah,
someone
me
yells,
too.
"Get him a stim," to like get him back up. So I think he's fine. I think he's
He meant
okay.
to send a message with that.
Oh,
You
what's
know,
he tell
truth
him?
be
He
told.
says you should have kept the armor.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, true.
That's what I feel like. It's a callback to him admitting that he's previously dueled Boba Fett, which I don't think we'll get a live action like flashback of that. If we do, that'll be kind of okay, but I'd rather see that in like a show
In
like
the
The
show.
Bad Batch.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, or see
Yeah.
it in this show, them doing it like dueling legit.
It's possible. They'll probably do a present day version.
I hope so.
They kind of have to.
That's
right?
definitely what it's leading up to. This
Boba
finale
is
they're
gonna put
meet.
him down for good. He's gonna be like,
I really
thought
hope he's
killed
not
you."
riding a Rancor and fighting him. That would be so silly. Jesus
I'm telling
Christ.
you, someone from Disney had to have leaked some shit. There's no
if
way.
he's riding a Rancor and fighting Cad Bane, I'm done. I don't like Star Wars anymore. If that's the case, that's the
That's okay.
silliest shit.
It's been hard to be a fan of this fucking show.
That would be so silly.
Yes, I agree. It'd be very silly.
So what else happened? So this is pretty much the end of the episode. We only have 2 scenes after this. Pretty much, we have one
Sanctuary.
in the sanctuary. Yes, exactly. The pikes, just 2 random pikes roll in, sit down, don't order anything, don't get their helmets cleaned,
Yeah.
drop a container,
Yaptona.
which looks like looks like it would have contained their money, like from earlier or something like that. And then they just get up and leave without the container, and it blows up. And that's where that scene ends. We don't
So
get
did
any
you
more
guys
information
notice
for that.
Max Reboot wasn't there,
Yeah.
and instead playing the drums that night was the Short Circuit robot.
Oh,
Boom,
did he have
told
it?
you was
Did
gonna
he
come
have a?
back.
Did he have
Max
a night
Rebo
off?
survives.
Yeah,
Must have.
It was an inside
Well,
job, dude.
I
Max
was-
Rebo
I-
took them off.
yeah, exactly. Max Reboot is the criminal mastermind. That is the answer to all this. Blue
Must be it.
Elephant did it all. He done did it.
But yeah, other than that, that's the entire scene. We don't get anything else besides that. And then we get Johnny's scene.
It was
We
such
get the
a. I
decision.
feel like that scene was so out of place. It was so fast.
Yeah,
It was like
it's
they
been
walk out,
it's probably like
and
2
it's just an
hours.
Explosion.
It's been 2
Yeah, it
hours
was
since
like,
we've been in Mos
okay.
Espa.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's been like 3 episodes. Yeah, okay.
I think
like,
they're trying to
alright.
just up the stakes and be like, the pikes are on the move now.
It's
Like,
Well,
seriously,
they
blew
they're
up
making
the
it
bar.
really personal for Boba. First the Tuscans, and then this. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's just trying to up the stakes for the last episode to some degree. But yeah, then we actually do get the scene Johnny was referencing earlier with the decision. You want to describe it since you started?
Yeah, sorry about that. I was a little jumped the gun early on it, but it was just the fucking carry on earlier from Skywalker talking to Grogu, and he was like, "Hey, Grogu, you can stay here, at the palace, whatever the fuck. I can teach you to be a Jedi. It's gonna take a couple years, but it's gonna be worth it. You can also get the sick lightsaber." He's like, "But you probably won't see the Mando ever again." Or you can take Mando's gift and the armor, and you can take Mando's armor he made for you, and you can not be a Jedi. And I was just, okay.
Yeah, you can fuck off right on out of here, you little shit. And it's kind of weird. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he was just like,
Oh.
it was weird. He's like, you take this
Okay.
gift, it means you're fucking have a relationship. And I was like,
You fucking
You-
weirdo.
Yeah,
You don't love me if you take
what
his
did he say?
armor.
You not disregard the Jedi. He said something else.
Forsake.
Forsake.
Yeah.
which is
yeah,
weird.
honestly, very hypocritical.
I know. Well, I was thinking about that. I was like, they really jumped the gun with like the whole thing behind being a Jedi. Why do they? I feel like this episode just kind of centered on like, oh, to be a Jedi means you have a lightsaber. And I was like, there's so much fucking more to that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Than just having a like they're fucking like peacemakers.
Honestly, the last episode said it best. The way the armor talked about their code versus the Mandalorian code, and Din Djarin was like, that's the opposite of what we do,
Well, I was thinking about like the Clone Wars, and I was thinking about Obi-Wan's relationship, and even Anakin. Like it's just like, man, people have not like. I don't think people
With
have
the
given a
Duchess?
shit. Yeah, I don't think people have given a shit about this fucking guy. And Padme, I feel like friendships have existed among like colleagues and friends, and like
I
even
feel
with like
that's
Rex
something
and
that has to
shit.
happen later, though,
This is
you
what's
know?
setting up for Luke being too short-sighted, though. This is
Yeah.
exactly why what
That's
happens
that's
in the sequel movies.
His world's black and
point.
gray.
Yeah, it's a good
and
point.
then he's a hypocrite, and so is Ahsoka. Both of those people turned their back on the Jedi at one point.
Well, yeah, because
And they forged their own path.
a gray Jedi, isn't she? She's not.
She
she's
walked away from the
not a
Order when she had the
Jedi,
chance to
yeah.
come back, and she just decided to do whatever the hell she wanted. Whether she's a gray Jedi or not, she
Yeah,
chose her own
she's
path.
just like
Luke,
independent.
in the middle of his training, said, "Yeah, I'm kind of not, I got to go do something right now." He just
Dig my friends.
exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
fuck
attachments.
hand.
So
Wow.
you're gonna be a hypocrite to a creature that lives 900 years? He's got all the
Yeah.
time in the world to be a Jedi. He could be a Mandalorian and a Jedi. We've seen it before.
True.
That's a good
It's-
fucking point, Sly. Right on the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, based on this decision, I feel
Grogu
like
Vizsla.
it's fairly obvious that he'll go with Mando because that's one of the few ways that he would survive when the temple gets destroyed later. So
What
that's
if-
got to be it.
Unless he hides an R2D2 again.
Is it controversial for me to say that I want him just to stay on the Jedi and I don't want to see him ever again in the shows?
I kind
No,
of want him to
I
stay
thought
on the
that
Jedi
a little bit
I don't
too.
blame you.
as well.
But
I thought
like,
that
on
would
top
be
of it,
interesting.
his
I don't
new,
know. That
Mando's new
chainmail
ship.
ain't cool at all. The
There's a
Yoda's
spot for
lightsaber is cool.
Grogu and everything.
What'd you say, Sly?
There's a spot for Grogu on Mando's new ship and everything. They've been
That's
setting it
true.
up
Yeah,
since
the
yeah.
little,
Mando
the
first
little
popped
droid
in.
They have
section,
to, yeah. They said it. I mean, it's really obvious that that's
Not
what
to mention
happened.
the promo art that originally came out for Mando season 3. Grogu is shown like constructing his own lightsaber.
Oh shit! I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I was thinking about
So-
that, and I was like, man, would he have to go to like go create his own, get his own crystal and everything like that, like how they used
That's
to?
the problem. If
Go to
now that
Ilum.
the sequels are canon,
Mm.
that later becomes Starkiller Base. So how is he gonna go get a crystal?
I was just thinking about that. Like that'd be interesting.
I want to
Huh.
see live action Ilum. Ilum is one of my favorite planets in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
and I
But
feel
it's
like
just
it's done
Hoth
right.
2.0.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
know,
goodness.
just with sparkly crystals. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that I mean that wraps up the episode. I don't know.
Yeah. Pretty
Wait,
much.
what planet did they get it on before Disney canon?
Ilum.
I think
Yeah, in
it's
the
pretty
Clone
much
Wars.
always been-
It was Ilum.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
What is the
sacred to
other
the
ice
Jedi,
planet
and
that's
then
not
the
Hoth?
Empire harvested it for its kyber crystals. And then after that, the First Order turned it into Starkiller Base.
Very sad.
Mhm.
Very sad indeed.
Ratings. I give this 7.
Yeah. I give it a. I think I'll go with an 8. It was all right.
It was
Pretty good
alright.
so- It's just. Yeah, I can't give it anything more than that because again, I think I gave the last one a 9.
I feel like it's just
Probably
like
a little bit too generous.
yeah, but it was like kind of like they spun out, had a good episode, and you're like, all right, now go back to your fucking heaping pile of shit. Let's go back to watch this bonfire of this trash that's on fire. But they're like, oh, like the show doesn't even want to go back to their fucked up storyline they've been trying to show us.
I was expecting more Boba Fett in this, to be honest. I was
I
not
wasn't
expecting so much
any
Mando.
Boba Fett in.
Yeah. So
I
don't know, it was
an 8
definitely-
as well.
yeah.
Cobb Vanth was cool. Mando was fucking cool. Cad Bane
We
was
need more
superb.
Cobb.
More Cobb.
Or Cobb. What about you,
I'm calling
Tony?
him Cad.
9.
9.
9. Okay. So that's probably just
Why?
an 8 then.
Can I just ask for why such a strong score? What did you like so much,
Cad Bane.
or thought was done well?
What was it like? There was Mandalorian, okay?
Yeah.
There was Luke. There was Grogu. There was Ahsoka.
Yeah,
and
but
then
what
they're
was
like,
done well?
Hey, here's Cobb Vanth. And then they're like, hey, here's Cad Bane.
Hey,
And then they're like, hey, here's Yoda's lightsaber. And then they're
Hey,
like, hey, here's
besides
here's
besides just
six-
presenting Star Wars characters to you in a Star Wars show, what was done well enough to deserve that score? That's what I was curious
all that
about.
stuff. I think okay, so I think I like the Cobb Vanth stuff because I watched this twice. I watched it alone, and then I watched it with my girlfriend. And when I rewatched, like there was like a cool kind of I like realized there's a parallel like rewatching it with like the end with Cobb Vanth doing like the like kind of like Western style duel like in the beginning like you're like, oh, this dude's a badass, and you're like, oh, okay, like he's not a badass, like because you see the title card and you're like, okay, they're talking about Cobb Vanth, and you're like, oh no, like that's not the Western from the desert. And then I like the Order 66 thing was done well. It looked like it was ripped like straight out of the prequels. The Luke was a huge improvement, and I liked all the Luke stuff. There was no Boba Fett at all. Not at all.
Nope.
That
nope.
was
That's why
it
it's a
doesn't
9.
get a 10. Yeah, that's why it's a 9 for real, because it's just nope, no Boba Fett. The Ahsoka stuff's pretty good because I like how it's kind of like her and Luke clash. Like she's not entirely agreeing with Luke because like she kind of gave him the choice, and she's like, honestly, I don't give a fuck. I ain't trained him. Go do what you want. And like that was cool that like Ahsoka's still kind of like she's just doing her own thing. What else? Oh yeah, and then Cad Bane. That really bumped it up like 2 points. Honestly.
Yeah, Cad Bane is
Cad Bane. Cad Bane. That's why, really. And then Yoda's lightsaber. It was just a lot of fan service. And honestly, the most like I felt like there was never a point in the episode where I was like, is this almost over?
That's fair. I mean, that's a good gauge.
This is the only episode. The last one I wasn't really like that either. But also I was curious like when is this gonna turn into Boba Fett? And this one I was just like, I really don't even care anymore. They're gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do. And yeah, I also biased because Dave Filoni, but I mean he did good.
Hell yeah, he did.
Well, hey, I'm glad you liked the episode so much, you know.
And I bet the next one I'm gonna give a 7. That's a prediction because I bet it's gonna be terrible for somehow some fucking reason. He's gonna ride a motherfucking Rancor into battle.
He has to. They set that up. They have
Cool
to.
with it.
Jesus.
As long as the
It has
Rancor
to
eats
ride it.
someone.
That's for season 2, which will get canceled.
No. Jeez. Well, I think that wraps it up then, huh?
Okay.
So it's an
Well,
8.
ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go and round it to an 8. That's our official score from the Foundry for episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to leave some support for us. Head down below to the comments, guys. We want to know what you guys think about the episode. Give us your thoughts. You know, let's discuss a little bit some Star Wars. But next week, the finale of the Book of Boba Fett, guys. Excited for that. And we'll be seeing you guys later on the next episode. Thanks, everybody.
Peace out.
See you.
Like a sluggo.